Coming to you straight from his home in Los Angeles, California, it's the Late Night Quarantine Show with Robert Dunne. With special guest Steven Honeycutt. And musical guest Mike DeCamp. Featuring the Dwayne Carlton Merit Band. I'm Mike DeCamp. Now here he is, Robert Dunne.
Yeah. I wanted to have a little dang at the end. You know, like a real late night show. You know, like this one. Which, by the way, welcome to it. Oh man, what a quarantine can do to people. Welcome to the show. We have a great show for you planned today, me and the whole entire staff here. Before we start, I want to make a note to the editor to please feel free to use as many laugh tracks as you want and to cut out any jokes that just don't land. So with that said, let's move on to the jokes. Only to find that it was shaving cream the whole time. So those are the jokes for today. We have a great rest of the show. We have guest Steven Honeycutt here. We're going to be talking to him. He's from the Netflix show 100 Humans. And we have a musical guest segment from Mike DeCamp where he will be playing some beautiful piano for us. So I want to jump right in with the next segment that I like to call the One Man Trying to Write a Monologue by Himself segment. I will understand if you want to skip this part, but I will still feel bad. So I figured I'd make a late night show not just to pass the time, but to use it as a way to talk to friends and interview them, and also to take advantage of this rare opportunity when I can have a late night show set that looks just as good as the professionals, since pretty much every television host out there is airing their shows from home.
All right, my next guest. Joining me now through the magic of the World Wide Web.
Hi guys, welcome back to tonight's show.
Coronavirus has forced a number of late night hosts to record shows from their houses.
All right, it's good. We are going to talk to a famous person today.
And speaking of talking to famous people, this lady got to talk to the most non-doctory doctor on television, Dr. Phil, about why she hates the coronavirus so very much.
Really annoyed that Corona was getting more publicity than me because I currently have a song going viral right now and no one was covering it. So I decided to hop on the Corona wave.
Okay, so maybe I'm going to assume that we took her out of context. She doesn't actually seem like Tommy Lauren and Carol Baskins gave birth to a child after a meth-induced night of passion. So let's back it up.
And I've got a question. What the hell were you thinking when you're licking a toilet seat on an airplane on the way to spring break when the country shut down?
One, I had way dirtier things in my mouth.
Okay, so I'm also going to assume that when you said dirtier things, you meant something like using someone else's toothbrush by accident, or getting dared to chew some gum from under a desk, or maybe that melted Snickers you ate off the ground was actually just a melted Snickers. Why are you eating that? Anyways, it's clear that some people are taking this whole virus thing less seriously than others.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus, you know that, right? You hear 35 and 40,000 people, and we've lost nobody.
Some to the point of self-destruction, while some people still believing it's a hoax.
And this is their new hoax.
Or some kind of inside job, which, by the way, if you are one of those people, let me just remind you that the government makes money off of you, so they don't really want you to die. And secondly, I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably on my social media, so just delete me. Well, we got through it. Writing jokes is hard. Please help me welcome my first and only guest from Netflix 100 Humans, Steven Honeycutt.
Hello.
Hey! Oh my god. It's really you.
It's really me.
Thank you for finding the time to do this. I know we're all very busy.
Yeah, I've got my schedule stacked.
You're a busy guy.
But it's true, but you know what? You're one of my favorite people and a great friend, so I will take the time out of my busy schedule for you, Robert.
Am I your favorite late night host of all time?
You're my favorite late night host who just started his own show during this quarantine.
Wow, because that's a lot. So that means the
That means
world.
something. That is something.
Well, let me just drink from my my mug here.
Yeah, I'll
So tell me, so tell me. So backstory, you and I met at this like kind of scary event that goes on once a year, huh?
Are you talking about Harvey Weinstein's birthday party?
I told you not to mention that. Yeah.
Oh wait, you meant Horror Night.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant Horror Nights. So
that's true.
Which will probably be even scarier now, I would assume.
And well, I mean, every day when you walk out, it's it's horrific, is it not?
It's a little bit horror nighty, some of the people, but I question like who's gonna go now? Who's gonna go to Horror Nights now?
I question if there's even gonna be a Horror Nights.
Yeah. You heard of the Billie Eilish maze? Are you excited for that?
Man, it's got to be a joke, right? It was an April Fool's joke, wasn't it?
Of course not. This is the best maze idea. Sorry, I'm adjusting my lighting. I'm a professional here. I have lighting. Oh God, I'm turning.
Pretty sweet.
There we go. Oh my God. Oh, now it really looks professional. Whew. Good thing I covered that.
Goodness.
But
is this Conan? What's going on here?
It's near it. It's pretty dang close.
Sure.
So you're not excited for the Billie Eilish maze? Is that what you're saying?
When I saw that map for Horror Nights, and I mean, I love Horror Nights and I love working for it and everything, but I found it all quite underwhelming and didn't seem very scary in the slightest.
Right.
Except for the Billie Eilish maze, of course. But
that's going to be so scary.
Yeah, very scary.
That's going to be really scary. Because she's the bad guy.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, how are they even going to do it? Do you just walk through and it's like the life and times of Billie Eilish, or you get to see her born, or I don't know.
Dude,
like,
can you imagine if there's going to be like Billie Eilish masks that you're going to have these like late 20s, early 30-year-olds having to wear and scaring people?
I mean, all right. Imagine a Michael Myers, sized dude wearing a Billie Eilish mask. That does sound pretty scary to me.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm just glad they're not selling out. I'm glad that they're sticking with horror and it's tried and true the whole way. Just never losing that spirit, you know?
Sure. A lot of original ideas going on.
Yes.
Just like,
I mean, go back, 20 years. No one would ever think to do a Billie Eilish maze.
No, you're right. They're breaking new ground.
Oh yeah, we're dropping some RLM stuff now, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
I guess we are. Well, it can only go up from here then. So I have a question for you, Steven.
Okay.
How are you handling quarantining?
Quarantining, is that the proper pronunciation?
It definitely is.
Okay. Well, really, it's business as usual around here, Rob. My wife is still working, and as you know, I spend a lot of time at home taking care of my boy, and that's what I'm doing now. Only now, I can't leave the house to go to the gym or go to a nice sit-down restaurant. So I'd say I'm pretty much handling it pretty well, I guess, as well as anyone.
How are you handling the recent fame of 100 Humans? And how do you feel about Tiger King stealing your glory away?
Oh, I am perfectly okay with that because Tiger King is an amazing documentary that everyone is talking about, as they should be. But no, 100 Humans was cool. Like, I'd never thought I'd ever be on a reality show before, and it's weird. Like, I've been getting a lot of messages from people that I went to high school with, and just random people that I guess saw me on there that I haven't spoken to in a while. And I got a few random strangers on my my Instagram, so I guess that's good. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it's all about adding random strangers and making no actual personal connections. But I mean,
social
you
media.
are what? So what number human were you?
I was human number 3, of course.
Oh, well, on and there was 100 of them.
That's
apparently.
right.
Unless they throw in some twist in season 2 where they're like 101 humans. Oh my god.
Camilla Bill is there.
Well, what as far as like being a good human, how would you rate yourself with the other 100 humans? Would you still be number 3? Would you be number 1?
That's an interesting question. I mean, it really depends on what you're being judged on or whatever. If you're being judged on truth, I'd say I'm pretty high on the list.
You stand for
I
truth.
don't know. Yeah, for truth.
Disgusting in this day and age.
Right, exactly. Yeah, truth and gritty realism. I'm definitely number 3 is probably where I need to be for sure. But as far as going along and being a team player, maybe
building,
a little bit lower.
Chairs and stuff.
Well, hey, I think I did pretty okay in that. I mean, they threw us a little curveball there. I mean, we pretty much had to take the group over and just go on our own merits or whatever, since we had a little communication problem for sure. I don't know. A team player in that regard, I think, yeah. I think maybe not number 3, maybe 30.
Okay, that was a lot higher than what I was going to say. Well, what human number would Joe Exotic be?
Oh, man. That is a good question. -1.
-1.
He
He's
transcends.
a non-person.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm like, he transcends being a regular human being. He's like full id and ego, or full ego, really, like zero id. So he would just show up and be like a guest star, really. If in the confines of the show, he'd be like a guest host or one of the, those random people, like when they were like, oh, we've got this guy from New Zealand here to teach about tic-tac-toe. He would be one of those guys.
Right. Yeah, he's a big old phony, huh? Making fake shows on the internet. What a loser.
Yeah, wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who else is going to see this except maybe his friends that maybe blindly support him, and even if the show's bad, they'll still like his posts. I'd hate to be that guy.
Did a good job.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't turn out like him. So what are you up to now? What's been going on in the biz world of Steven?
Well, there's not a lot of biz involved, but I mean, as far as keeping myself busy, aside from my aforementioned son, got my audio drama that I've been working on for quite some time, which you yourself is involved in, or was involved in.
Right, until you fired me. Yeah.
No, you're still in there, man. I own those vocals you came in and recorded. That
Would it
dialogue.
be amazing if you let me know that I was fired, like, on the show? Of like, well, you were great on the show, but we had to let you go. And I'm like, excuse me?
You go in a different direction. Your dialogue just sounded a little too Caucasian.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm not a good actor, so that's the problem. And
you're definitely not the only actor I know who has been on a network show. You're definitely not the only one.
Oh well, I appreciate that, but and I'm excited to hear this audio drama. And
me too.
Yeah. And then you also have it says here you have a podcast.
That's right. It's a lot easier to just sort of grind out these. Basically, I interview people who work in the theme park business, and I've kind of had a lull there for a while, a hard time finding interviews. But funny thing about a pandemic is that, as we were talking about earlier, people have a lot more time to sit and be interviewed on a podcast now. So basically, I don't believe you. Well, you will see, Robert Dunne. You will see. I've gotten a lot more interviews and been grinding out more episodes. So maybe by the time all this is over, I'll be a paid podcaster.
Hey, that's the dream, right?
Well, the sort of plan was to get paid to work from home so I can raise my boy and not have to put him in some sort of, questionable childcare service.
Okay.
So who knows? When all this is over, we'll see if that goal has been met or not.
Well, I think the questionable daycare service builds character, though.
Is that what you went through?
I mean, the doctors call it scarring, but I think of it as character. I mean, if you see an action figure that's kind of busted, it has a history. It has character to it. It's been through some rough patches, and I think that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, speaking of action figures, in these, questionable childcare things, were you the type that would rip apart the action figures like the G.I. Joes and rearrange their limbs and stuff?
Not at all. I mean, I didn't keep my action figures I have my cousin Vinny, no joke, my cousin Vinny. He would have action figures and he would put them back in the packages every time, all neat and everything. I was the middle ground. If I had an action figure that broke, my heart kind of broke with it. So I definitely didn't want to break my stuff because I was a big Power Ranger kid and I did not want the leg of the Blue Ranger to fall off because it would have destroyed me. So.
Did you have the whole set?
Yeah, I did. How dare you?
Ooh.
How dare you? Of course I did.
I mean, those action figures were pretty much impossible to break anyway, weren't they?
Yeah, it wasn't really my Power Ranger toys that broke. It was I had a Spider-Man toy that broke. He had a cool bending chest torso
I had
thing.
that one.
Yeah, it was awesome because he actually seemed flexible like Spider-Man.
Sure.
And I remember that part broke and I had my dad try to super glue it, but it just made his chest torso one piece. And I'm it's not the same. It used to do the bending thing and now it's just super glue. I appreciate you trying to help me because I'm a child and I'm upset.
You were
but
Dad, forget you, Dad. You can't fix everything with super glue and then cry yourself to sleep at night.
Exactly. And also my Green Goblin toy broke too. My Spider-Man toys broke. So
I think I had that one too. But yeah, I mean those Power Rangers, those were firm, Japanese built.
Yeah.
I mean they were just impossible to break. But G.I. Joes, they were a little bit easier to pull apart.
Where were G.I. Joes made? Were they made in America?
I mean, they were probably manufactured overseas somewhere. I would imagine. Maybe just at curious. One point they just were curious. Manufactured in America, but we all know that there is no manufacturing in America anymore. Not to turn this into a political show.
Of course. Oh, I just realized, as we did in the rehearsal, I was going to transition into the 100 humans, and I didn't even use it. And I thought I should have used it. I was going to say, and speaking of 100 humans, because that's basically how many humans are going to be left after this thing.
No! Now you got to look over to your band member.
Yeah, the whole audience goes crazy with laughter. Oh, my God.
Are you going to edit?
Then I'm like, why is there an audience here? One, we're supposed to be quarantined, and two, it's my apartment. Why are there so many people here? Because they love the show, Steven. They love this show.
They do. They absolutely do. Hey, if people in churches are still meeting up, then the audience for Robert Dunne Live, or what is this called?
It doesn't matter.
Late night with Robbie D.
Yeah, there we go.
This is more important than churches.
Right.
So,
and you know what? I'll leave on that bright note that one, we should start our own religion. And two, thank you so much for coming on the show. The check is in the mail. The car is waiting outside. And we hope to have you back if we get
Awesome.
greenlit again.
Absolutely. I'm just going to go get some snacks from the green room. Thanks so much, Rob.
All right. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. And please welcome our musical guest, Michael DeChamp. That's our show. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.